Okay, so right now we're going to welcome our ambassador.
Madam First Lady, wife to sitting at the corner there, for a conference. It is my honor to welcome you to the Diaspora Conference of Liberia. To His Excellency, President Joseph Yuma Boakai, Sr., for convening this important gathering, building the future together, reconciliation, national healing, to inclusive development, as part of the Arrest agenda, prioritizes agriculture, roads, rule of law, education, sanitation, and tourism towards achieving our national development goals. Our appreciation to the Foreign Minister, Her Excellency Sarah Beslow Nyanti, our late Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, Ambassador Sylvester Grisby, the chair of the conference, Reverend Emmett Dunn, Honorable Erasmus Williams, and their team, their tireless efforts in making this conference a success. I also extend to our sponsors, including the UNDP and the IOM, for the in bringing us together today. And I'm delighted to see officials of the U.S. government also present, leaders of the Union of Liberian Associations in the Americas, Liberians and friends of Liberia from around the world in attendance. As we deliberate and find solutions for building a better future of Liberia, I urge us all to sustain the energy unleashed during this year's celebration of our 178th anniversary. Let us forge greater unity for national reconciliation and healing and work together to create a prosperous and peaceful Liberia. Thank you, and I wish you all a productive deliberations.
Okay, and now we're going to have remarks from Sebastian Tila, who is the president of the
It looks so beautiful if you can see yourself from here. So I will not break the official. His Excellency President Joseph Yuma Boakai, Sr., officials of the Liberian government, President Ambassador Dr. R. Hassan Conte, Liberia Ambassador to Washington, Ambassador Emmett Dunn, and members of the Planning Committee of the Diaspora Conference 2025, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Board of Directors, Executive Leadership, and members of the Liberian Community Association here in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia, we call ourselves the DMV chapter. I warmly extend welcome to all attendees of the Liberian Diaspora Annual Conference 2025 here in Washington, D.C. We are honored, Mr. President, to host this significant event, bringing together Liberians from across the diaspora to share ideas, foster unity, and promote development in Liberia. We look forward to engaging discussions, meaningful connections, and collective progress. Thank you for choosing DC as the conference site for this conference. We wish you
And again, next, we're going to have Honorable Nathaniel.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. President, Madam First Lady. It's a pleasure to have you here in D.C. I've been given the difficult task to recognize guests and also introduce the cabinet. I must first say that we don't have the full complement of the members of cabinet that joined the president on this particular trip. So I will begin with the legislature, which is the first branch of government, before I'm held in contempt. On the front row, Kangar, who is the president pro tem of the Senate, having our midst Honorable Musa, Senator of Lofa County, and also Chair of Security Committee. Now for the cabinet, we have our dynamic Minister of Foreign Affairs, Her Excellency Sirai Beslo Nyanti. The Minister of Finance and Development Planning. Can you please stand? We also have our voice, who is the Minister of Information, Culture and Tourism. Jeremy Pia. With the first in the arrest agenda, the Minister of Agriculture, Dr. Alex Newt. We also have and he's been hiding all the time, but now we have the National Security Advisor, Honorable Kofi Woods. Having our midst the political advisor to the president. Here, she's well known. We also have with us the legal advisor to the president, Councillor Bushiben Keita. In our midst also is Dr. Emmanuel Yure Yakawolo, who is Executive Director of the Environmental Protection Agency. Of course, His Excellency, the Liberian Ambassador to the U.S., who were just recently on the podium, Dr. Hassan Conte. And we also have some good friends and partners who have worked with us on the Diaspora Conference and also who has been working with us who has also been working with us, to fund and support our development plan. And I would like to call Honorable Alio, who is the resident representative of the UNDP in Liberia. And we also have the head of IOM. And I make press secretary to the president, Madam Kula. And the head of the Diaspora office in the Executive Mansion, Mr. Erasmus Williams, to help with getting
So now we're going to have our Foreign Minister, Honorable Erasmus Williams, who heads the Diaspora Affairs Office, in that order.
Your Excellency, our dynamic First Lady, Pro Tem, Honorable Kangar-Lawrence, Senate Committee on Foreign Relations, on the Security Committee. Please allow me to stand on the existing protocols. It's an honor together. President Boakai, I thank you so much. I do not disagree with him, but I would like to add another key word. I discovered that Moreau Wiskins I know he go to Liberia. Discovery. We'll discover a lot this weekend about each other. Is apropos. We hear also at the served, and at this time, President Boakai says, for us, and that's what this weekend is about, discovering to be able to tune this weekend is about, discovering to be able to tune in, because Liberians everywhere are required. And that's a come to around the world, give to Liberia. Everywhere are required. And that's a come to around the world, give to Liberians at home. We can't quantify community projects. We see some things happening. We don't know who's doing. We can't quantify community projects. We see some things happening. We don't know who's doing. We can't quantify community projects. We see some things happening. We don't know who's doing it. That has to change. But we don't have that much of a reach. Doing it. That has to change. But we don't have that much of a reach. But we don't have that much of a reach. Resources are limited. We have here before as a high school graduate, but now is a doctor, maybe a resources are limited. We have here before as a high school graduate, but now is a doctor, maybe a resources are limited. We have here before as a high school graduate, but now is a doctor, maybe a neurosurgeon. Force them to help to contribute to the agenda. This for us. Is what this weekend is in partnership, us together, helping each other, and under the leadership of our President UN Security Council. This is the first time in life is gathered will be brought to bear all of our and we will ensure that we contribute to a just and
Hello. Hello, Liberia. Before I begin, you have a flag before you. I want you to just grab it, please. Okay. And we have revolutionized our new direction as Liberians in the we say, once a Liberian, always a Liberian. So we're going to say that together and wave the flag. You got your flag? Okay, we'll go. Once a Liberian. God bless you. Welcome, people. Thank you. A lot of speakers have done all of the recognition, most of the recognition. I will stand on existing protocol. But I just also want to take this time to express extreme gratitude to His Excellency, the government and people of Liberia, for providing us the opportunity to be able to function in a capacity that allows us to chase our dream. A dream that living in the United States, observing our children that are being born here, thinking about how they can get connected to our motherland, Liberia, remain a challenge. And His Excellency providing us that opportunity, a gap. Mr. President, thank you so much for this opportunity. I know we are the talent, the skill set, the potential of Liberians in the diaspora is enormous. But the most important thing is how do we transition that to back home? And that is why we are here. On this note, I would like to recognize the team, the wheels, who have made this possible, which is the steering committee, the planning committee, saying this is my opportunity to do this on camera, so that next time when we call on people to volunteer in this country, because they don't get paid. In our order, I'd like to first recognize the committee, the Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism Commission, the Ministry of Commerce, Police, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Internal Affairs, the Liberia Senate, the House of Representatives, the Liberia Immigration Services, the Liberia Business Association, the University of Liberia Diaspora Center, and our partners, the IOM, Development Bank, the Union of Liberians in America, ULA, Public-Private Planning Committee sector, Dr. Emmett Dunn, the Planning Committee Chair, Honorable Magdala Cooper, the Co-Chair, Paul Lamy, the Finance Chair, Emmanuel Wetty, Chair on engagement, representing Equida Risk, member of the committee, Honorable Nettie B. Davis, member, Cynthia Blanford, Lisa White, member, Honorable. We also have Mrs. Louise Tamba, member of this committee. Here, we extremely appreciate parking issues. Some people, so hopefully tomorrow it will.
Great job at the Diaspora office. Let's give him a hand. Gandhi served as Deputy Vice Chancellor for Institution Ambassador to Japan with concurrent accreditation to Australia. Over the course of his career in the government of Rwanda, Minister of Education, Minister of Affairs, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Cooperation, and Minister of Transport. Served as advisor to the President of Rwanda from 1994. Patriotic Front from February 1998. He has served on numerous boards, including Electronic Trade Group, member of the Assemblies of God Church in Rwanda, and the national coordinator of a national Thanksgiving festival called the Rwanda Shiman Imana. Please join me in welcoming Professor Ambassador Charles Morogandi, PhD, MBA.
Thank you. Your Excellency, Mr. Joseph Nyuma Boakai, Senior, President of the Republic of Liberia, Your First Lady of the Republic, honorable members of the Government of Liberia, all branches represented here, distinguished leaders and members of the Liberian diaspora, partners of the Liberian government in organizing Diaspora Conference, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. Good morning. All protocols observed. Good morning. It's 2025 on the only with Liberia, with all nations that have endured the painful journey peace, renewal, and development. Boakai, Senior, for convening this Liberia Diaspora Conference. In Monrovia on July 5th, 2020. They must build a reconciled. The words itself will be ruined, and every city and or household divided against their duty for a national leader than reconciling and uniting his people. President, I commend you for setting your heart, mind, and strength on this noble task. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, to appreciate Rwanda's transformation journey, one must briefly recall its darkest moment, the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. In just 100 days, over 1 million people, men, women, children, even hospital patients, were brutally slaughtered by their own government security forces, neighbors, teachers, doctors, and nurses on account of their ethnicity. They opposed this madness. Millions fled to refugee camps in neighboring countries. All is collapsed. Rwanda became a byword. Failed to act. Tutsi to their fate. Only the courage, selflessness, and determination of the Rwandese Patriotic Front, under the leadership of Major General Paul Kagame, brought an end to the genocide and opened the way to a new beginning. But the genocide did not erupt overnight. It was the culmination of decades of divisive policies, colonial and post-colonial, designed to separate Rwandans into artificial ethnicities, institutionalizing discrimination, exclusion, and periodic massacres. Hatred was cultivated systematically until in 1994 it exploded with catastrophic consequences. The first lesson from Rwanda's tragedy is therefore clear. When a nation builds its politics on division, discrimination, and exclusions, the result is not just inequality. It can escalate into catastrophic violence, death, and destruction. Preventing such outcome requires constant vigilance against any policy or practice that divides citizens into us and them. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, after the genocide, many believed Rwanda would remain a failed state. Some prominent leaders even suggested partitioning it into a Hutu land and a Tutsi land. But our leaders rejected these predictions of doom, gloom, and despair. They believed our tragedy was not something in our DNA against which we had no remedy, but rather the product of decades of bad governance. They resolved to build a new Rwanda on different foundations through principled, disciplined, and visionary leadership, as well as on accountable and transparent governance. At the heart of Rwanda's reconciliation, recovery, and rebuilding were three deliberate and foundational choices. First, we chose to stay together. After the horrors of genocide against the Tutsi, many expected revenge or exclusion. Instead, the Rwandese Patriotic Front resisted the temptation of the winner takes it all and formed a broad-based government of national unity. Revenge killings were harshly punished and completely discouraged. Close to 3 million refugees were brought home and resettled. We placed national identity above ethnic identities. Ethnic labels, once used to divide us, were abolished from identity cards and official discourse and practices. The program Ndi Umunyarwanda, meaning I am Rwandan, affirmed that we are one people with a shared destiny. We revived the indigenous Gacaca community courts to deliver justice at scale, combining accountability with reconciliation, i.e., a restorative instead of retributive justice. Survivors were supported through a dedicated fund for their housing, health, and education needs. This choice, remaining together, was the hardest but most essential. And today, 31 years later, Rwandans of all ethnicities and background live, study, and worship side by side and are even intermarrying again. Second, we chose accountable and transparent governance. We understood that exclusion corruption, impunity, the root of our tragedy. Power was decentralized. Corruption was so that Rwanda ranks among Africa's best governed. With the world high of women in parliament, judiciary, and cabinet, Rwanda is one of the least corrupt countries in with efficient. Third, we chose to think big. Finally, we refused to remain victims of our past and natural constraints. We believed that Rwandans are a dignified people endowed with capacity to transform their lives for the better and achieve what other peoples around the world have achieved in terms of development. Thus, we embraced ambitious national visions, first Vision 2020 and now Vision 2050, to transform our economy into one that is inclusive, knowledge-based, technology-driven, and globally competitive. We invested in health, education, technology, and infrastructure. We positioned ourselves on the world stage as contributors, not beggars. Rwanda is in the world. Global reputation for order, safety, and innovation. As John Maxwell has said, everything rises and falls. Bad leadership brought calamity on our country, and good leadership has been slowly but surely transforming it for the better. Rwanda's renewal was not automatic. It was the outcome of hard, sometimes painful, but ultimately transformative decisions. From this journey, Liberia may draw several lessons. First, confront the past honestly. Healing cannot rest on denial. Truth must be named, however painful. And front, I ask you all to congratulate President Boakai for leading by example. Second, unity as the cornerstone of nationhood. Citizens must rise regional divides. Third, pursue accountable governance. Trust for peace and stability. 4, invest in reconciliation policy and communities healed. Like Nehemiah in the Bible, leave comfort behind and go to help rebuild the walls of your nation, or at the very least, be pro bono ambassadors of your country, mobilizing and facilitating investment, tourism, knowledge and technology transfer into your country and creating markets for your country's goods and services. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, before I conclude my remarks, let me say that today Rwanda is no longer known only for its tragedy, but mostly for its successful post-conflict transformation. It now hosts global events such as the FIFA Congress in 2023, the FIA is International Automobile Federation Awards and General Assemblies in 2024. And as we meet now, it is hosting the World Cycling Championship. God bless Liberia, her leadership. Thank you.
A more transparent and a chapter in public service. This is the story of the Performance Management and Compliance 2024. His Excellency President Joseph Yuma Boakai, a national commitment to deliver measurable results and rebuild public trust began with a groundbreaking effort in 2024. Performance contracts with the President.
Sign the Performance Management and Compliance System, EMCS, contract is not just
This contract that each member, minister, or each head of agency signed with the president clearly specified it, which was September to January. And there were just two targets. Like I said, the service delivery charter, as well as building the capacity of the entity to ensure that they can achieve or develop the service delivery charter. Come next quarter, now that the National Development Plan has been developed, each agency and ministry will now develop the next quarter performance target based on the arrest agenda for inclusive development, because we're all part of the design and formulation of the agenda.
By 2025, the number had grown as the PMCS became a governance cornerstone embraced across the public sector. The system started with two foundational targets in 2024. In 2025, the bar rose to 5, including the strategic plan that aligns with the AAID, service delivery charter implementation, resource mobilization, systems efficiency, and institutional capacity building. In its first cycle, the system didn't just track performance, it celebrated it. Institutions demonstrating excellence were publicly recognized and awarded, reinforcing a culture of integrity and delivery. Across government, trained monitoring teams conduct quarterly reviews and mid-year assessments. Decisions are now data-driven. Planning is becoming strategic, and credibility is earned through evidence.
So first of all, I'd just like to establish that the performance management system is very because it makes all of us as official accountable, and also it gives us the avenue to align our programs and activity with the national development agenda.
The future of the PMCS is digital, inclusive, and sustainable. A fully integrated performance management information system will unify reporting, monitoring, and planning across all government institutions. From service delivery to budgeting, the PMCS is aligning performance with Liberia's national development priorities. As Liberia embraces a new era of accountability, the PMCS stands as a symbol of transformation, where performance is not just a promise, but a measurable commitment to the people. Liberia is proving that with political will, visionary leadership, and data-driven systems, governance can work and work for the people.
Where's Ahmed? Where's Ahmed?
Ambassador Don, can you please join us? Paul Abi. Mr. Wetty. Ms. Robina. Our distinguished, beautiful people in here today, we have decided to pay a special recognition to most of the people who have actually made the day possible, that have gone above and beyond financially, logistically, and through the network and other means. And we also have people that flew away from other part of the diaspora, other than the United States. We want to recognize some Liberian leaders from other places. And we have some of our ambassadors also from the diaspora that came to the United States for this event. And that is why the team is here so we can do it together, so that whatever mistake we made is very minimal. I started calling names, and when you start calling names, because you cannot remember all the names, just know what I'm in right now. But first of all, I want to say to the Ministry of Finance, I know it's government of Liberia, but it is important that we recognize the Ministry of Finance in an extraordinary way because it's unprecedented in the way they supported this conference. And we look forward to more support. Mr. Minister, well, thank you so much for the level of support. As we await more support. And of course, I know Mrs. Tamayin like the one, but she's not here. The president have gone above and beyond for this event. So government played a role officially, but the president role that he played in this minus that, it will not happen. I know they say that the president sold our government, but the president have his own personal life. And when he use his own personal life to get some other things done, even though we want to tie it to government, but we recognize that, Mr. President, thank you so much again. Martin, you'll help me. This is very important, people. I'm not trying to take your time, but please, I beg you. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Madam Minister, in helping to navigate our partners, to get them on board, to be on the same page. Because we've always had the situation of Diaspora Office, Foreign Ministry, Ministry of State, Foreign Ministry. Ministry of State, we've managed. The president of the Liberian community in Canada, please come up front. Please, Mr. President, Madam President, the president of the Liberian community in Europe, Europe in the house, please. The president of the, Kolasa? Kolosua. Wole Kamara. Kolosua. Just right, fresh. Thank you. And of course, whether we like it, we not like it, Yula, la Yula. You know, we mail Yula here, we leave Yula here. The people are there, you're mail here, you will leave it here. Mr. President Mohamed Keita, please. I go to the main program and say, I can't sit down. Oh, Mr. President, I come and feel no problem. I will stay calm. I will still recognize you because our country and the diaspora is bigger than any one of us. Welcome, Mr. President. You are our president. Liberia advocates for change. Please. And then I will ask my team to help us. But there's one guy here that did all the BB work there. They know they call him Afi or Ofo. Hey man, what they got need? You all know him? They got, I was running for Eula Regional Vice President in Ohio. One woman was in front of me, I was campaigning to the woman. I met woman. I said, Mama, please vote for me. Vote for me, please vote. You know, Alpha Tonga, may you please come up, please give it up for him, please vote. And let me, before I get excited and get in trouble, let me ask my team to think about the thing I'm not thinking about. Okay. They just put it in my ear. Hey, tell me, I'm a wasted Jenna. Echo Bank. Echo Bank. Where is Echo Bank? Echo Bank team in the house? So Echo Bank sent a team. They sponsor us. And they are here today to make sure all of us in the diaspora open account. The idea is bank your money in your country. Hello? Bank your money in your country. If your money is there, it will help create the capacity for banks to lend. The one you keep in here is there. Put it in your country. Don't leave from here without having an account. So Echo Bank is right out there. Please go and open an account. Even if you don't complete the process today, build your profile. Open an account in your country. Take ownership. It's very important. So I want to recognize Echo Bank. And the people promise always, okay. Esela Meta. They are the future. Tomorrow they will give us money. But we recognize Esela Meta here today. Thank you. Let me call my team. Okay. So before His Excellency speak, we'll just ask the Mr. President of the Diaspora, this event is for you. This event, Madam President, the event is for you all. Hopefully, even as we plan the Diaspora annual return this coming December 2025, now that we are including the embassies in different, part of the diaspora to join it, that will work with you directly to help bring the people to Liberia. We want to bring people from Guinea, Ivory Coast, Sierra Leone, Ghana, and other places. Please help. I'm going to go against them, but don't make me shame. That secret I'm telling you. Please can't give just 1 minute. 1 minute on behalf of your people, because it's not fair for you to fly from all the way now. You don't even greet your president. So, in no special order, our Excellency Mr. President Keita. Please.
Good morning. Thank you so much. They say the healing staff at home. Whatever we do, if your house not in order, you can't solve your problem. Mr. Erasmus, thank you so much.
No problem. Peace and reconciliation, problem finished.
EULA is ready to work with anybody. EULA was established for a purpose. For you. Equality, peace. But sometimes when you start the process for something, you don't know the outcome. But there's no way you can get a freedom without hurt. There's no way you can get a freedom without looking back. But indeed, you can come back and reconcile your differences. Liberian, we are ready. And Mr. President, thank you so much. We got more to say tomorrow. God bless.
Good morning. Well, as you've heard earlier, my name is Willie Kim Kamara from the Southwest. Mr. President, Madam President, and all diplomats present in the room, I'm just very happy to be in this room to get this ball rolling. Mr. President, Colossus, which comprises of many states in the Southwest, have your support. Rest, we are on board. Without any further, we look forward to the success of this conference. Thank you.
Mr. President, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm very glad to be here and to represent the diaspora community in Australia. For far too long, we have been forgotten. We actually do not get representations from our government to visit us. Our request here is to have a consulate in Australia. The diaspora Liberians, we are over 20 to 25,000 Liberians currently in Australia. It is important for us, our government, to have a representation. This is the time for Liberia to plant a flag in Australia. To be brief, because I was being told to be very brief, I just want to say thank you. It was a pleasure to be here, and I'm glad to meet all of you. Thank you.
Hello to all. Thank you, Mr. President, for the opportunity. My name is Precious Bodia Dramanin, President of the Liberian Association of Canada. Like my brother said, we are in the same position. We need a consulate in Canada. It is very, very difficult for us getting visas to go to Liberia, getting simple things as birth certificates or death certificate. So we are here to engage with the government, and we hope and pray that you listen to us. Thank you.
Thanks and appreciation to you and the organizers of this event. I have a message, it's the same as the others. We need a consulate in the Scandinavia. Because several reasons. Look, our passports get missing along the way, sent to Bonn in Germany. People in Norway, Denmark, Finland, and other countries need a representation. So it is against that backdrop that I'm appealing to you and the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs to please consider that. So on that note, I want to thank you from the people of Europe. Thank you.
And I want to recognize the president of the Liberian community in Ghana, She's on her way, but she's not here. Julia Riches, want to recognize you in this order. I know it's taking more time, eating up the president's time to speak, but this is very important because these people flew away and they are representing a large segment of our community out there. That's why. So thank you all, and I beg your indulgence. Please help us to correct our flaws in a positive way as we all look for more support. Are we good? All right. So the people, we have another category, but we'll come honor vote of thanks, which is our technical team and everybody out there. Oh, Mr. Finance Minister, we want to say thank you so much for that extra support you provided us as we wait forward for more support. God bless you. Thank you, people. Thank you.
Good afternoon to all. Good afternoon to all. Thank you. Mistress Katumu Yata Boakai, First Lady of the Republic of Liberia, Senator Yumbi Kangar-Lawrence, President Pro Tem and members of the Liberia Senate, Honorable Thomas P. Fala, Deputy Speaker, and other members of the House of Representatives here present, Honorable Sarah Beslo Yanti, Dane, and members of the Cabinet, Dr. Al-Hassan Conte, Liberia Ambassador to the USA, Ambassador Levi Dima, Liberia Ambassador to Brussels, Honorable Erasmus Williams, Head of Diaspora Office, Liberia, Ambassador Emmett Dunn, Chairman and members of the Plenary Committee, Diaspora USA, Ambassador Prof. Charles Magondi, former Minister of Foreign Affairs, Rwanda, members of Liberia Diaspora 2025 Annual Conference, our international partners and sponsors, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On the occasion marking the Liberian Diaspora Conference 2025, I am honored at this time to present to you His Excellency Joseph Yuma Boakai Sr., who will at this time make the keynote address. Please welcome our President with a rising round of applause.
Thank you all. Welcome. And please have your seats. Madam Pro Tem of the Senate and all senators here, the Speaker, Mrs. Boakai, Dean of the Cabinet and Cabinet members, our ambassadors, members of the diaspora, our friends, members of the Forbes State, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, our special guest speaker, for honoring this occasion and for your welcome you all. Thank you. It is long awaited conference is finally here. I want to thank you. ladies and gentlemen, what an honor and delight to stand before you today at this historic gathering of Liberians in the diaspora. This conference has been in making for a long time. I first introduced the idea during several of my speaking engagements with the diverse members of the diaspora community across the United States months before the elections and again in the weeks leading up to my inauguration. I believe that formalizing this partnership is essential to the renewal and rebuilding of our country. This summit is therefore a dedicated platform for engagement, policy dialogue, and partnership. You will not be treated as observers, but as full stakeholders in Liberia's future. We often forget that the neglect of any aspect, anybody in a society, can become an Achilles heel. My fellow Liberians, we have indeed come a long way, and if we are honest with ourselves, we inherited a country that was facing far more problems than we could resolve overnight. Institutions were operating below their optimal levels. The economy was faltering, security had broken down significantly, and the overall mood and the challenges we face as a country can be overcome when we are intentional in our resolve to reverse the past. By doing so, lyrics in the glorious land of liberty shall long be ours, will be real. Ladies and gentlemen, while we recognize these historic shortcomings, we must also take responsibility for shaping our future. Liberia can be rebranded. With strong leadership and a people-focused vision, we can create a country that embraces what we aspire to be as a nation. As we are beginning to see changes, Liberia was overwhelmingly elected to the Security Council. Our independence celebration this year, I understand, went global, thanks to the Liberians in the diaspora. These are just a few of refreshing memories of renewal for our country this year. We have to restore our waning glory in the global community. At home, our government is taking steps to address the complex social and economic conditions we inherited. Through the arrest agenda for inclusive development, we are focused on 6 critical pillars that will promote development, beginning with agriculture, roads, rule of law, education, sanitation, tourism, and technology. This agenda is a response not only to the current challenges, but also aligns with the National Vision 2030 to transform Liberia into a lower middle income country and build a capable, inclusive state. What we are committed to is improving livelihoods and ensuring that every Liberian, both at home and abroad, can share in the growth and programs that the reform agenda and the National Development Plan will bring. Already, we have seen substantial progress in several areas, including healthcare, education, road, infrastructure, development of agriculture, sanitation. Progress has also been made in governing the rule of law, anti-corruption efforts. Despite these efforts, we acknowledge that challenges remain and that more should be done, and quickly too. I would like to highlight 3 key areas of this national transformation: governance reform, economic transformation, social inclusion, reconciliation. With these key, they in themselves are not exhaustive. Our most extraordinary effort must be to overcome, and as I usually say, not to come over to greener pastures. The crisis Liberia faces today are deeply rooted in governance. It does not take much for an observer of Liberian society to see that many of our country's problems are fundamentally linked to governance. Governance should no longer be a privilege for a select few, but a responsibility for everyone. The days of benevolent leadership are gone. A small number of people unjustly and personally use the institutions of state to amass and control the wealth at the expense of the majority in the society. We must continue to embark on reforms that give voice and power to citizens in all our communities and all over Liberia. And we must move beyond Monrovia-focused decision-making and embrace decentralized participatory governments. This is why my administration is committed to fast-tracking constitutional reforms, including decentralization, local government empowerment, and improved service delivery. Good government requires accountability, transparency, and respect for the rule of law. It must lead to a strong, capable state that serves all people without discrimination or favoritism. In this fight, the key government initiated the performance management and compliance system. Undertakes governments Liberia is committed to fostering a culture of accountability, transparency, and performance excellence in public service. When over a third of the population living in poverty, a long history of rural neglect, despite abundant resources, it called for a significant rethinking of how we do business and organize our society. Our economy must be inclusive and work for everyone. Liberia remains predominantly agricultural society with vast natural resources. Yet our development model has historically prioritized commodity extraction over inclusive growth. We need to reconsider the concession regimes and focus on adding value, promoting local ownership, and investing in agriculture, where the majority of our people, especially women and youth, are actively engaged. We must replace growth with development, with growth that delivers development. The irony is that while the commodity extraction has supported the economy over the years, and contributed to increased growth, such growth has been unequal because we have not invested the profits in development to benefit the majority of the people. By reinvesting resources and the revenue into infrastructure, health, education, and job creation, we can reduce poverty and build a more equitable society. Inequality in Liberia is not just economic, it is social, historical, and structural. From settler, indigenous division to ethnic favoritism and generational inclusion. These privileges have long undermined our national unity. Our system, as it were, has contributed in a very, very minimal way to many inequalities in our country, thus depriving many of our people of a voice in their own affairs and of our opportunities for better and dignified livelihood. We must confront them honestly, dismantle the systematic exploitation of one another, overlooking impunity and expecting peaceful coexistence is like plaiting your hair without first picking the louse. My government is committed to promoting peace and reconciliation, as you've already seen we're doing. Since peace was restored in 2003, we have been on a long way in challenging journey to rebuild ourselves, restore broken trust, reconstruct detached communities, and redefine our yet better life, redefine our identity. To come together, confront our complicated past, and begin to build a future rooted to truth, justice, and compassion. For too long, many of our fellow Liberians have carried their pain in silence, with little peace and little space for dialogue or closure. But we must note that we are embarking on a journey of justice, reconciliation, not just for the atrocities and violence during the war, but equally for historical wrongdoings. I don't want people to believe that it is just about a war, historical wrongdoings. By acknowledging the past together, we begin the journey of a national restoration together. As a diaspora community, you must lend your voice to reconciliation and national healing, just as you participated in the TRC process. We may build an infrastructure and superstructures, but without true reconciliation and healing, all those will come to crashing down under the weight of division and conflict. The role of the Liberian diaspora is crucial. Global Partnership for National Renewal. Let me now speak directly to you as the diaspora community. The Liberian diaspora remains a vital force in our collective effort to build a more equitable, inclusive, and prosperous Liberia. The 2025 Diaspora Conference brings together Liberians from across the globe, North America, Europe, Asia, and Caribbean, all and beyond just the United States. But it demonstrates our strength, our diversity, and our global reach of all our people overseas. Your remittances have kept families fed, children in school and homes together. They are lifelines of love and sacrifice. Now that you have done that, you're giving us a fish. We want for you to teach us to fish. Your remittances have kept families fed. For decades, you have played a crucial role in our national journey. And as we now stand at the threshold of a new era of renewal and transformation, your continued engagement is more vital than ever. Rebranding Liberia and transforming our society cannot be done by government alone. It requires your active, sustained, and international involvement. As the saying goes, you must put your money where your mouth is. This means going beyond sentiments and stepping into actions by lending up your skills, networks, knowledge, and resources to drive change at home. You have built wealth, contributed to countries other than yours currently that you reside in, and some of you have planted your feet in corporate America and corporate world at large. Please allow that experience and knowledge to go back home to Liberia as well. We engage and grow in private sector to drive productivity and growth at home. We also understand that partnership is a two-way street. You have legitimate concerns about security, infrastructure, healthcare, education, utilities, and other essential services. Let me assure you that my administration is committed to creating the enabling environment that is transparent, accountable, and inclusive, one that welcomes you when you return, provide opportunities including collaboration on establishment of the Diaspora Investment Fund and projects that you invest in. Together, let us seize this moment and build a future where all Liberians, whether at home or abroad, can proudly and equally share in the promise, dignity, and the opportunity of our own country. As we are hosting this conference in this country with the largest Liberian diaspora community and historical ties to our nation, I would like to share a few thoughts on the relationship with the United States. Liberia's historical connection to the U.S. is well known. But after 178 years of independence, we need to ask, how are we using this relationship to change our country for the better? While we expect more from our traditional partners, we must also be honest with ourselves. We cannot ask others to invest in us if we are mismanaging our resources. We must demonstrate that we are worthy of partnership by upholding the rules of law, fighting corruption, and delivering services to our people. We look forward to working with the United States as a common partner in priorities, a democratic consolidation, economic cooperation, global security issues, climate actions, and many more. We must strengthen the relationship in ways that work for both countries, the United States and Liberia. The road ahead will not be easy. The problems we face are real and daunting. But the collective resolve, they are not unsurmountable. I have always believed that Liberia is not a poor country. Liberia's progress had been held back by the lack of sustained, inclusive, and forward-looking leadership necessary to unlock the potential and foster long-term development. That is what I am committed to providing. But no president, no government, no party can achieve it alone. We must work together as citizens at home and abroad to build a functional and inclusive society. One of the key objectives of engaging in the diaspora community through this conference is to provide a platform for you to join our brothers and sisters at home on the national journey. Your views, ideas, expertise, networks, and resources are critical to rebuilding our dear country and just for Liberians, not just for the ones today, but building it for posterity. Ladies and gentlemen, our country is at a crossroad. Liberia holds so much promise, but that promise, as envisioned originally by the founders, has faced many stumbling blocks. Together, we can build a country with a vision that aims to create functional and fair society for the future of generation. I want to invite you, Liberians in the diaspora, to join me on this journey. I'm very happy when I hear Liberians calling on the radio, Liberians especially coming from the diaspora. I can go to Maryland now. I can go to Grand Gita. It tells me what it means to go back to the village you were born. And that can only be made possible by using our resources in a way that will benefit not just our people back home, but those who left and want to go back home. So in the words of former President John F. Kennedy, quote, ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. As we gather here at this first historic diaspora conference, let us renew our national commitment to think Liberia, to love Liberia, and build Liberia. I want to wish you all the very best as you deliberate in the next few days about the future of our country. And I look forward to your ideas, your knowledge, and the wisdom to move our country forward. Liberia is your home. Liberia is the place of your birth. Liberia is a country of pride. But it cannot move further without you. May God bless you. May God bless our country. May God bless your efforts. And at this time, we want to thank all of you who have come from far and near, and especially to our brother from Rwanda. We want to thank you. At our memorial service in Monrovia, we invited somebody from Rwanda who gave us a very, very inspirational message. For some of you who have been following, who have been to Grand Gita, you have had a Liberia of Dole, you have the Liberia of Talbot. This was an exercise to bring the country back together. We didn't do it because we felt that we wanted to do something that would please us. We did it. But some of you who are out in the diaspora, who were yearning for this, and we are happy for those of you who were able to go back to Liberia to attend that memorial service. I want to thank you all. There's nowhere like home. And you know very well, Liberians, we are a small community. We hold together. And I know that spirit is being rekindled. We look forward to a very, very, very serious deliberation here. Not in the old way of stopgap, but we do it with our hearts and hands, as our national anthem says. We look forward to all of you to participate. We are doing whatever you do back home. I can assure you, with a team of people we have, that will protect your rights at home, and know that some of the things when you go back home, you have a land issue that is everywhere. It's something we can't solve overnight, but it's something that we can work on, just as this conference is going to build the spirit of unity. I can assure you we can resolve all of those. So we'll look forward to seeing some of you, maybe at Christmas or whatever. But I believe this conference is a big beginning. It's going to bring all of us together. It's going to make Liberians to begin to feel true Liberians with love and looking forward to rebuilding our country. We have everything that is required. The resources are there, but your ideas are needed. Whether you have retired here, I call you retired but not tired. So you have an opportunity to come back home to build our country. Thank you. God bless you. God bless the conference, and we look back to it.
Okay.
Young girl bends over.
Thank you, Mr. President, for that rousing, inspirational speech and message for us. You guys want to give him another hand? Okay, so we have time to make up, and this is going to stand between us and lunch. So we're going to do a presentation now to His Excellency Mr. Joseph Yuma Boakai. And this presentation is going to be by Connie Zor and with the artist Flan Manley. Please come up with your presentation. What are you guys going to do?
No, praise the Lord. Honorable, Your Excellency, Joseph Nima Boyka Sr., Auntie Katumo, it's so great to see you. Distinguished guest, Ambassador Emmett, so grateful for the opportunity to actually show the world what Liberia has. On behalf of Just One, nonprofit that serves in Liberia, Bonnetsville Battery Factory, Zinc Camp, name it, our mouths and our treasure is in Liberia, so we want the world to know that we're here. Mr. Flan Manley is a Liberian, and I'm grateful when the request came, Mr. Dunn, that you were open to showing our president the talent Liberia has. Flan Manley is from Minnesota. You know Minnesota took us global. Shout out Minnesota. Yeah. And he has made waves in the papers, on the news articles. He's on a billboard, one of his art's on a billboard in Minnesota. So we want you at this time to please give him a moment, and he's going to share why he did this piece for the president. It's so great to be amongst you all. God bless you all.
God bless. How's everybody doing? Good. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here today. Like, it's a dream manifest. I told my mother, send me an outfit. I'm going to meet the president. Just talking, bold. In the African household, in the Liberian household, you only got 3 options. You gotta be a lawyer, a doctor, engineer. Yeah. What category do I fit in? An artist, right? I broke the rule. But with my art, I've been able to heal. I wasn't born during the glory days of Liberia. I actually was born when the lights got turned off. I don't know what it looked like, right? So it's dark. But war have allowed me the eyes to see the beauty in the chaos. Right? I tell the Liberian story, not of war, but of beauty, compassion, hope. And I did this painting 10 years ago of this young lady with the flag in the back of her head that said, believe again. Because I believe that the youth, the diaspora of Liberia, will make a change. And it's a pleasure and honor today to be able to present this work, because I've done the work myself for healing. Because I plan to go back home to be an added blessing to the youth back home in Liberia to show. Because my covenant to God was, make me a possibility. Make me a possibility of what hope looked like. Make me a possibility of what joy looked like. Right? So art is my weapon. I was born during the war, but art is my weapon. The weapon I've been able to bring joy, love, and hope to amongst others across the war. My art has not been back home since 1998, but my art has reached the kids in the village, the slums of Liberia, right? They've been able to recognize themselves. So I look to come back home to be an added blessing, to affect change as well with everybody else in this room. And I would like to give this gift. I know you never go in a man's household with empty hands, so I thought I'd come here and give you something special. Uh-oh. This is my love offering to you for your invite, for whatever we all have to share. Because some of us have not been back home. We don't know what it looks like. We don't know what it feels like. We don't know if we're invited or not. But being that you give the invite, I thought I'd give you my love offering and say thank you. God bless you.
thank you for that beautiful gift, my dear brother. Look forward to see you in December at the Diaspora Liberia Annual Return 2025. Thank you. Okay, so as you notice, we have the presence of our pro tem and the deputy speaker here. Protocol required that they should have spoken before the president, but because this is an extraordinary and historic moment for our country, it is important that Liberians in the diaspora be able to hear from the leaders from all branches of government. So, hello. What? So in that order, tomorrow, man, well, wait. Why are you fighting for now? You relax now. Hello. Tomorrow and Sunday, the Liberians in the diaspora will hear from all branches of government. Hello. As we continue to look for more support. What's a Liberian? What's a Liberian? God bless you. I'll turn it back over to the MC. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have some really important announcements for you for lunch. Lunch is going to be served one level below us in the Lincoln Ballroom, and then there's going to be an overflow all the way across the hotel in the hallway where all the displays are. That's very important. Lunch was supposed to be from 12:30 to 1:30, so as you can see, the time is well spent. So we're going to have maybe about 40 minutes for lunch. Then we're going to reconvene here at 2 o'clock. And let's try to be prompt so we can get our program back in the flow. But thank you all for your attention this morning. Has it been amazing? Have you enjoyed it so far? Okay, thank you so much. And we'll see you at lunch. Please sit down until the president leaves the hall. Please sit, have your seats, please.